Did I just see or hear too? I'm just hallucinating. I felt like I hallucinated a bug the other day. Because there was, like, one of them long, like, centipede-like bug things under my fridge. And I was like, ah, I got this. I will squish it. And I stomped on it, and it's nowhere to be found. I may have hallucinated its entire existence. There is a non-zero chance. So not a bug nerd, I see. Definitely not. Oh my gosh, I don't like bugs. I've had too many bad run-ins with bugs. As a kid, I didn't mind them. As an adult, with the amount of bad run-ins I've had with bugs, like flies in particular, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Hard pass. Absolute hard pass. Well, my house is now equipped with 2 electric fly swatters, so... I mean, I can tell you the time I engaged in chemical warfare with a fly. You know, why not? So, the way this story goes... Yes! The way this story goes is, so, again, I do not like flies. The long story short of the reason why I don't like flies is because one time when I was in university over the summer, I guess I'm telling the story, but I'll keep it short. Um, I used to have fresh fruit over the summer because I wanted to, like, live healthy and stuff, and I put it in my oatmeal and stuff, and it was fine. Um, but flies got into the trash. And it doesn't take much of a genius to imagine what happens next, right? Kind of, you know, they started rapidly duplicating. Fly babies, yes, fly babies. Let's never call them fly babies. But either way, that problem was dealt with, right? This story about chemical warfare is a recent story, but just to provide context, I don't like flies because they did that, and I learned of the existence of their fly babies, the day before I had to write a math midterm. Now I am a huge math nerd. This is something that is a thing. I was taking math over summer school because I was switching into a full-on math program. Originally, I was just computer science. Then I switched to math and computer science because huge math nerd. But this required me to catch up, basically, on the things I was missing. So I learned about this as I'm studying for a midterm. And I'm home alone. So I don't like these things. That's how I got my first bad experience with flies, and that's why I don't like them. So, how did I engage in chemical warfare with a fly? This is completely different, you know. Chemical warfare with the fly. So there was a fly, dude. Where am I? I'm in like a hole. There is a fly in my apartment, and at this point, I did not have an electric fly swatter because I just didn't think to get one. So there is a fly, and I can hear them. I have like finely tuned hearing to the buzzing of flies specifically, and I can hear them even with headphones on, and it drives me up the frickin' wall. So I hear it, and instinctively fight or flight response kicks in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to find this fly and remove it from the premises. But, of course, he's a little sly dude, and eventually I lose track of him, because it's hard to freaking track them. So, eventually I go, alright, well, he'll show up again, eventually. I'll find him. And eventually I find him, and he is in the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, I see. And we basically start this whole freaking charade again of me trying to kill this fly. But he, again, eludes me. So I'm starting to get annoyed and freaked out at the same time because I really don't like them. So I'm trying to think of other alternative strategies other than trying to smack them with a tissue box because this is no longer working. And then I notice in the bathroom a can of Febreze. And I go, ah, yes, I have found my new weapon of choice. So, eventually the fly gets attracted to... There's like a baby zombie nearby. Eventually the fly gets attracted to the lamp that's nearby actually where I'm sitting right now. And... because it's the light. The fly gets attracted to the light because it's a little bit dumb. And I'm like, alright, now's my time. I, like, very carefully approach it. Like, I'm approaching, like, a wild animal, because, I mean, I guess that is technically what I'm doing, but I don't view flies as a wild animal. But, you know, I'm approaching it like it's completely gone feral, and I lean in it. I lean over and I look down, like, the hood of the lamp, because it's one of those standing lamps, and it's, like, pointing upwards. It has the adjustable neck, but the neck is pointing upwards, so it, like, faces upwards. Faces the ceiling. Then I decide, okay, I'm gonna spray it. And I start spraying it, and I hear it go as it, like, starts to slowly phase into non-existence, but it's still holding on. And so I decide, alright, I'm going to spray it again and again and again, and eventually I stop hearing it, so I, like, try and dump the contents of the lamp out. Right? I basically just tilt the lamp over to dump it out, and there it is. And I try to get it, but it escapes. It escapes. And I do not have a kill confirm. So at this point, I am massively annoyed, but I need to go to bed, so I go to bed. And the next morning, I am ready with the Febreze, and I start scanning the kitchen for this thing. I notice it on a windowsill, and I climb up on the sink, because the windowsill's, like, really high up, because I live in a basement apartment. And I just spray the thing relentlessly. And I also have a tissue in hand, and I have a tissue box in hand, and I slam the tissue box so hard, I deform it. Not the fly, the tissue box. Well, I guess and the fly, too. And then I felt better, because the fly was no longer a thing that existed in my life. It was the kill confirm of a lifetime. Since then, I have decided I no longer wish to battle flies like barbarians, or I no longer wish to battle flies akin to World War I techniques. But I decide that I wish to not battle like our barbarian. And, decide, okay, I'm going to, you know, I'm just gonna not be foolish and silly. And I invest in electronic bug zappers, like fly swatters. Now, the funny thing about that is it comes in a pack of 2. And I need to get batteries. And so, you know, I buy batteries, and the batteries arrive, and it's like 30 AA batteries. I do not need 30 of them. But here I am, with 30 of them. Either way, I don't even believe I have them installed into the fly swatters, Because I have never once had to use these electronic bug zapping swatter things, because since purchasing them... Oh yeah, that's right, this is this. Since purchasing them, flies have never showed up. They know. Instead, what other insect problem do I get? Ants.